Hey YouTube, what's going on today? This is Chewy, and today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 favorite survival horror games on the PlayStation 1. Now, survival horror is a strange genre because it is based around themes instead of gameplay mechanics. What other genre can incorporate point-and-click adventures, third-person action games, RPG, and first-person shooters without skipping a beat? So without further ado, let's get started on the list. Coming in at number 5 is Dino Crisis. When I first learned of this series, people said it was Resident Evil with dinosaurs. Considering it keeps many of the conventions of Resident Evil, such as controls, was created by Capcom and features some similar story element, but it mixes up the formula in a few ways to make it interesting. If you played through all the Resident Evils and want something similar but still dangerous, Dino Crisis is the way to go. Coming in at number 4 is Alone in the Dark, One-Eyed Jack's Revenge. Now, before Resident Evil came along and even named the genre, the first Alone in the Dark would help mold survival horror with many of its action staples. One-Eyed Jack's Revenge is the second game in the original trilogy in which players control series protagonist Edward Carnby as he investigates the kidnapping of a young girl by gangsters who are actually the manifestations of ghost pirates. While it kept some of the horror elements of the first game, it's sometimes difficult to classify One-Eyed Jack Revenge as true survival horror, but it's still one of my all-time favorites. Coming in at number 3 is Parasite Eve. Now, Parasite Eve was first released in Japan in 1995, and there was also a film adaptation released in 1997. The first Parasite Eve game follows a woman named Aya, a rookie NYPD officer who must battle it out with a creature named Eve who is attempting to create the ultimate being. Probably most notable is that the games were created by Squaresoft, and this is the first hybrid of survival horror and RPG gameplay. Now, holding down the number 2 spot is Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil is easily one of the biggest names in the genre and is credited with creating the term survival horror. The series also standardized the control scheme and many other elements that would dominate survival horror games for the rest of this generation, to the point that other survival horrors became known as Resident Evil clones. The plot tends to follow a particular group of characters, usually police officers, as they battle a pharmaceutical corporation named Umbrella. But Umbrella also does work with biological weapons, which have a nasty habit of getting loose and unleashing hordes of zombies. Now, if you've never played a survival horror game and are wondering what the genre is all about, Resident Evil is probably the best place to start. Now, coming in at number 1, and also the game most likely to scare the hell out of you, Silent Hill. Considered by many at the time of its release to be the scariest game of all time, the first Silent Hill took the survival horror genre to new psychological heights. Gamers take control of Harry Mason, a widower taking his adopted daughter Cheryl on a late season vacation to Silent Hill. On the way, Harry wrecks his Jeep and is knocked unconscious. When he comes to, snow is falling and Cheryl has disappeared. From there, Harry must wander the streets of Silent Hill searching for his daughter. Combining a bizarre storyline, strange references to other series, a dark soundtrack, and a disturbing atmosphere, Silent Hill twisted reality to a breaking point. Players were forced to rely on a radio that would emit static the closer an enemy became. Much of the game is spent fumbling around in the dark, and the flashlight only manages to attract enemies. While many games attempted this field, Silent Hill truly succeeds at making us afraid of what might lie around the next corner or through the next door. So did your favorite survival horror game make my list? Or how do you feel about my list? Would you add to it, take away? Let me know in the comments below. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap it up right here. Thank you for stopping by today. Make sure to like and comment on this video and subscribe. And thank you guys. You have a great day.